Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Sean, sometimes known as The Beast, and this is going to be 4 death metal records I've been listening to quite a lot lately, including one that's the physical copy's only just come in, but I had the digital pre-order download for quite some time. But we'll go into it a bit more when we get to that one. So first up, I believe I first was made aware of this by Roger. And really glad he showed it, because then I found it. So the album in question is Edge of Sanities, Elegy Chapter 1. This is a compilation. It's out on Century Media. Obviously Edge of Sanity are from Sweden. For me, this is one of those albums where a remix and a remaster has been beneficial, because what it is, it's a collection of early demos and such like. Dan Sweno has worked his magic on them. Now, I can't really say yay or nay compared to the originals, because I've never heard the original versions. This came out in, what does that say? I think it's just 2025 reissue, collection type thing. But we've got Euthanasia from 89, Immortal Rehearsals from 90, something I can't really read from 90 also, The Dead from 90, and Dead But Dreaming from 91. So it's quite a long album. I think it lasts for 77 minutes or 87 minutes. It's not something you just stick on and not give any time to. Inside it we get the lyric sheet, and yeah, I thought it was a really good sort of, as with most demos, like a snapshot of where the band were at the time and stuff, on black wax. Obviously it's double album, so I won't bother showing you the other one. But yeah, I was pleasantly surprised just how even though it's been remastered, it does still have that raw demo type sound to it and quality to it, just a little bit slightly more polished. Now I believe that the CD version is a double disc one, and it has this copy and also the original demos. So if I see it somewhere at a reasonable price, I'll probably pick it up, just because this is so entertaining. But it'd be interesting to hear how they were released originally into the world. So that's the first one, Edge of Sanity and Elegy Chapter 1. Now I probably need a little bit of help from you guys and girls in the comments in regards to this next band, because they're one of those bands for some reason that have passed me by, and I've only just recently picked up the newest album. Is it the newest one? Yeah, Fire Upon Your Lands. I've recently picked that up on CD. Saw this reasonably cheap, so I thought I'll get it and give it a go. Now, the band in question are called Unleashed. This is the album Warrior that originally came out in 1997. Their 5th full length. This is on Supreme Chaos Records. This is the 2017 version. Again, this is death metal from Sweden. Now, I read as I always do, I like to read other people's reviews of certain records, and this one seems to get a lot of stick from the Unleashed fans because of the direction it was going in. Now, like I said, they're a band that passed me by. I never really connected with them at all, but there was people complaining about the sort of the death and roll sound and stuff like that, and how different it was. For me, I think it's just it's sort of pretty stripped back death metal, quite simplistic. We have got a poster that I can't get up without sharing. Look, and then guys on that side. Yeah, like I say, it's quite simplistic, quite catchy. Some of the lyrics are quite cheesy. Avert your eyes if you're not a fan of clear vinyl for the price, you know. Yeah, I thought some of the song titles, Death Metal Victory, that is very almost childish in the message across and stuff. I mean, it's not a terrible song by any means, but it's just a little bit, yeah, just maybe self-indulgent, maybe the word I'm trying to think of. But what I'd like to know is, what's the best or the better Unleashed albums? So if you're a fan of them and you've got a lot more of the stuff than I have, please pop down in the comments and let me know what I should be looking out for and what your thoughts on this one actually are, if you are a serious Unleashed fan. I say it's not a bad record. It's something that's it's probably something I'd put on in the background if I was busy rather than sit and listen to it intently. But yeah, it's not bad, but it's not mind blowing either. So that is Warrior by Unleashed. Now this next band need no introduction whatsoever. There are people who have spoken about this band thousands of times, far better than I ever could. But when I saw this at a local record fair and the gentleman was selling all his metal off at half price for some strange reason, fortunately or unfortunately I had most of it, I had to pick this up. This is the mighty Pungent Stench and their compilation, I suppose it would be called, first recordings from 2018. This is out on Black on Black. It's basically a collection of tracks from splits, from demos, from some live stuff, and it just absolutely oozes filth and depravity, as you would expect from the Pungent Stench boys. Again, avert your eyes if you're not a fan of horrible clear vinyl, which I still think looks cheap as shit. Yeah, this is there's over 70 minutes of music on this, but it's just a really fun listen. It's everything you'd expect from Pungent Stench, and I think most people that are fans of extreme metal have to doff the cap to the effect that these boys had on the genre, on the whole scene. They might not be everybody's cup of tea, but I just think they're one of those bands. If you're in a shitty mood and you want something to liven you up, then this is definitely a go-to type record. It's got that abrasive guitar tone that you associate with a Stench. It's got that thick, fat bass line. Yeah, and the vocals are just absolutely filth. But yeah, I was quite happy to pick this up. Like I say, it was a tenner, sealed, brand new. So that is Pungent Stench and first recordings. Now this last album is the one. It's sort of the main reason behind the video. I didn't want to just. I maybe could have just done an album review, but anyway, I'm chatting shit. The album and band in question are the Mighty Ashen from Australia and their second full-length Leave the Flesh Behind. This is a 2025 release out on Redefining Darkness. Can't see it because it's bloody green on the back. Yeah, this is old school sounding death metal with a modern twist on it. I don't know what it is that's in the water in Australia, but there is some absolutely fantastic music coming out of there recently. This is just really, really heavy. It's aggressive, it's powerful, it's got riffs for days. Again, another translucent, but at least this one's green and goes with the album cover. Yeah, it's got riffs for days. The vocals are very much the guttural, but they're also understandable. The production is you know, it's one of the best sounding albums I've picked up this year. 10 tracks, just absolutely riff heavy, death metal mastery. This band is a band that I can only see them getting better and better. It's not easiest stuff in the world to get hold of. This the postage was probably more than the actual record was for this. But there's certain bands you think, yeah, I definitely need to get that on vinyl. I sort of wish I'd grabbed the bundle now and got the hoodie and stuff. But this has, in some of the slower passages, even though I said how heavy the album is in as a whole, the slower passages, it just seems to crank the heaviness. You know, it's glacially heavy. It's very pummeling, very fast at times. It's got that sort of, that old school feel with that modern sort of groove. I don't like using the word groove for death metal, but you know what I mean. It's got that sound where you think, yeah, they took a genre and just tweaked it a little bit and added a little bit of their own style. It has got that HM2 sound, but it's not overdriven. I'm not even 100% sure if it's actually played through a HM2 pedal, but you know, that sort of, that buzzsaw sound that we all adore. Yeah, absolutely cracking record. This will easily be my end of year list. Not quite sure where, but say I've only had the actual physical copy. Can't remember when it came in, maybe about 10 days ago. But it's been spun a lot digitally from the moment I pre-ordered it and got the download. So yeah, absolutely cracking record. So that is Ashen and their second full length, Leave the Flesh Behind. So that's it for this one. It's just sort of like a little midweek type thing. Massive thank you to the new subscribers. I noticed yesterday I'd gone past the 700 mark, so that means a lot. So any of these you know, and especially the Unleashed, you know, get down in the comments and recommend what you think are the better ones. I say Warrior's not a bad one, but I don't think it's going to change anybody's mind if they don't like death metal beforehand. So yeah, like I said, that's it. We'll be back probably with a black metal update, or maybe a beatdown update because I've been up there again. There's a record fair this weekend locally, so we might see if we can find some gems there. Anyway, we'll come up with something. Look after one another, enjoy whatever music you're listening to, enjoy whatever genre music you're listening to, and as always, until next time, cheers!